Hey, it's my favorite time of the year. It's tournament time, baby. It's tournament time. I know y'all been waiting for it. I know y'all been watching. I know y'all been looking. I know y'all been looking at the prospects for the NBA draft. I know y'all been paying attention to everything that's been going on. If you haven't, I know I have. I've been loving it. I can't lie to you. The tournament is good. We're gonna get in that later on, but hey, welcome back to GNC Sports Talk. I am Cary. This is my co-host. My twin brother G.
No. You're not doing me like that. I am your fantabulous, great, awesome, amazing host, the narrator of this here podcast, the engine that keeps it going. This just, the front man. But we all know it's about the one that's behind the scenes. We all know it's about that, right? Anyway, he wait for me to do it. I'm sending out last minute invites and stuff like that.
Yeah,
anyway,
man.
If this is your first time tuning in, you are a repeat offender, replay viewer, or new subscriber. This is GNC Sports Talk. Once again, I am Gary.
This is Cary.
GNC Sports Talk, we do it
for the culture.
By the culture.
Because we are the culture. You dig?
#1 sports podcast. Why?
Because our mama said so.
Because our mama said so. Love you, mama. Real quick, want to get to the comments. We got a couple of things that happened last minute. And of course, we got so much to cover with that special thing called March Madness. And we want to, one day we're going to get into where everybody love it, whether they know a lot about it or not. But before we get into the comments, we here at GNC Sports Talk Love Music. We have a segment dedicated to it at the end of every episode. And because we love music and we love sharing it with you, and we hope that you love sharing it with us, we want to make sure we tap in, or y'all tap in rather, and we see what you are listening to. Yes, what are you listening to, whether that's rap, rock, country, dance, pop, reggae, whatever it may be. What are you listening to? Put an M in the comments next to that artist, album, song. We will highlight that at the end of every episode as we do so fantastically. Somebody pay for us a music license.
Yeah. Gotta get that going.
Last thing before we get into the comments. Again, whether you're a new subscriber, repeat offender, replay viewer, or, casual listener, we need you to turn to a real one. Casual listener, we need everybody to do this.
Hit that subscribe and like button, man. Tell a friend to go tell a friend. And we'll welcome as always.
Gotta work on how you try to rebut my stuff.
Well, I tried.
All right, real quick to get into the comments. #1 sports podcast of the world famed Grambling State Marching Band.
Yep.
I'm not sure they support us like that, but they should.
We represent it all day, even though I have a Maryland basketball shirt. Hey, but they in the tournament, man. That's all I can say. Shout out to Maryland.
Traitor.
Shout out to Maryland.
Traitor. How you doing, mother? Nice to see you again.
What's up?
We back, baby.
Yes, sir.
That is from
Black Raiden. By the way, I played my first Red game. I got some work to do, but I did quite all right. You would have been proud.
Why don't you play with him though?
Well, I ain't had time. I ain't hit him up and nothing like that. I just played random. Go ahead.
He on the game all the time.
I know, but I just want to do it on my own.
See what I'm saying, Mario? He's not a team player, and even I know that in real life. Back together again. Yes, we are. So happy to have you here. Thank you all for joining in. Continue to drop them comments. Yes, Black Raiden said the same thing. Not a team player. He'll tell you all day long what he do by himself, but it's about teamwork, camaraderie. This thing right here, it was made famous when they did this and turned it around. That's what we are, brother.
Okay.
You suck.
Okay.
You suck. Yes, we have a few things to get to in football, the NFL to be specific, because we don't want to talk about the draft right now.
Well, first let's give a RIP to George Foreman. Legendary boxer passed away this past Saturday. Got to give a big rest in peace to him. Great for the boxing community from, I believe, East Texas, if I'm not mistaken. And also, before I continue, I got to give a big shout out, and she knows who she is, We call her T. That's Big T. If you know, you know.
Did you even invite her to the podcast?
I did. I told her about it. I told her we was going to shout out for her birthday today. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hey, that was for Big T. She knows what she is. Big shout out to you. We know what you do. We love you. We appreciate you. Keep doing your thug thizzle. And again, if you listen, take a shot of Hennessy, Douce, Casamigos, 1942. You know what we be on. But yeah, I just want to go and get that out of the way. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Happy birthday, T. That is number one. Happy birthday to you, because also number two, George Foreman passed, and you want to shout out his boss's accolades. That man with the Foreman grill made money, first of his kind, the way he did it. Shout out to the businessman George Foreman.
Yes, sir. Man, look, it was a sad day when he passed away. I believe it was 73 or 74 years old, if I'm not mistaken. So, great, legendary, one of the greatest boxers of all time. So, he was that guy. But
I'm sure.
Yeah. Anyway, but let's get to the NFL. We have Russell Wilson going to the Giants. 1 year deal, I believe, for $10 million, if I'm not mistaken. So, what do you think about it? What do you think about the deal? Does it improve the Giants? Do you think you're gonna play well, or only will time tell?
Russell Wilson to the Giants, the saga that is, he left the Seattle Seahawks after a tumultuous time. At the very end, he also won the Super Bowl. Legion of Boom is what he was a part of, but on the offensive side of the ball, and he really got things cracking, as you can say. Really was an instrumental piece, even though some will not give him his credit. And had they handed the ball off at the end of that game in their second Super Bowl appearance, they would be two-time Super Bowl champs. Having said that, he then departed there and was traded to or signed with, I apologize, the Denver Broncos. And that bad man, Sean Payton, I mean bad in the term meaning bad, basically screwed him over. Before that, I believe Vic Fangio was the head coach. That was a terrible time. All of it, no, I'm sorry, not Vic Fangio. Jets coordinator that got Aaron Rodgers to go there. Ooh. That's who it was. Nathaniel Hackett. I apologize, Vic. You just won the Super Bowl. I apologize.
That was in his own way too.
He caught a shot though for no reason. I'm sorry, Vic. Nathaniel Hackett was his head coach his first year. This is Russell Wilson. It did not go over well. Nathaniel Hackett was not a great coach. We don't know if Russell Wilson was a bad quarterback at this time. Sean Payton comes in, basically does a screwy up job, especially when Russell Wilson was playing good, putting his body on the line, doing everything he could have. Sean Payton basically wanted him to sit up there and take a pay cut to sit on the bench and to eventually get traded, which he did. And he was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Somewhat injury prone during his whole time there, but he won games. Pittsburgh not winning any playoff game was more about Pittsburgh than just Russell Wilson. And now he is with the New York Giants. To your original question, does he make the New York Giants better? No, he does not. Because just like the Pittsburgh Steelers, the New York Giants have more problems than just a quarterback.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Russell Wilson can still throw the deep ball very well. We believe he's accurate medium routes. Not sure about short. That offensive line is terrible. Not sure who they have at running back. They do have a dynamic wide receiver in Malik Neighbors. We know that offensive lines also play a good trend in whether a quarterback can get the ball to said good receiver. And nobody knows what the mystery is of that defense. But the reason why the New York Giants are not good and will not be good for an awful long time is because of one thing that I love to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. That is sports karma. Yes, the New York Giants are still suffering from sports karma. What is that you say? Well, you let your best player walk out the door and Saquon Barkley after you signed a $40 million deal with a quarterback that is below average and is now with the Indianapolis Colts. That is TBD, to be announced, to be determined. I'm sorry. So I'm not sure what Daniel Jones looks like, but he's no longer with the Giants. So you let your player walk out. Your so-say franchise quarterback walk out. You have a questionable coach with his future and GM and Brian Daboll. I forgot the GM's name. I'll think of it here in a minute. But the biggest thing is because you let the best player walk out who actually loved the organization and the community and giving back to it and actually poured into it and loved that everything about being a Giant. Sports karma happened where the Philadelphia Eagles won that Super Bowl after being there 2 times out of the last 3 years. Not only did they win the Super Bowl, but the reason why they got there, a huge part of it, was the player that you let walk out the door. Ladies and gentlemen, sports karma is that the New York Giants still have a price to pay, and therefore they will never be good here in the next few years.
Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate that. I highly disagree with everything that you had said. I don't think it has anything to do. Them trading Saquon Barkley.
Let him walk out the door.
Let him walk out the door. I don't think that has anything to do with karma at all. I think that was a business decision, a horrible business decision at that. But in regards to Russell Wilson, I think they got better. The one thing you didn't mention was their defense. Hey, we don't know how good or bad their defense is because they're just a horrible, wretched team in general. But they still have Malik Neighbors on their team, top 10 receiver from LSU on their team. Who knows who else they're going to pick up? But I like the move. I don't know. Well, I mean, now we just have to ask, where does this leave Pittsburgh? Because who's going to be their quarterback? So Russell Wilson gone to the Giants, which we'll see how that works out in the future. But the real question is, who's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback for the future?
Well, to your original question that you asked, you said, does this move make the Giants better? And yes, they have a star-studded receiver, and you said the unknown, and we don't know what their defense is going to look like. You didn't speak about the offense, but I know without asking you, their offensive line is terrible. We also don't know who their running back is, correct? And if we're going off of past data, we can't say whether it was just offensive line or just the running back core or just the fullback, if you will. We can't say if it was just a defense, but we can look at the rest of their division and honestly say the Giants are still the worst one, even though the Cowboys get talked about the most. So one move isn't going to make you better, even if you have a couple pieces there. So Russell Wilson getting signed doesn't mean anything. James Winston just got signed there, and he could have made it better. It's not one person that's going to make this situation better. The reason why I say sports karma is something real in this situation, because you gave up essentially the best person on your team that made Daniel Jones 1 year. 1 year. That's why he was good. And so you gave him up and you basically said, well, running backs are expendable. We can go get another one. Well, let's just go ask Dallas if they're going to get another one.
Yeah.
Let's ask Baltimore how a running back made them better. Let's go ask Minnesota how a running back made them better. Let's go ask the Oakland Raiders, who had a good tight end and a good running back, who were both young players. Let's go ask certain teams how a running back makes them better, even though they said it was expendable. And so you got rid of that position. Yes, Malik Neighbors is great, but who was the quarterback last year?
Daniel Jones. Vito.
And last time I checked, the New York Giants and the New York Jets, I can't tell the difference between, because whoever lines back up their quarterback, it's 2 seconds and they're getting hit in their mouth. So, yeah, this move, better quarterback maybe, but didn't make them better. That's just me.
You got to get ready for the grind, Russell. Get ready for that grind, man. I hope them wheels, I hope they keep ready to turn, because you did make a good point, and I have to agree with you on it. The offensive line is one of the worst in the league.
Well,
and that's speaking from us. So
I give you a better one then. We can wrap it up with a nice little bow with this. Name a player that has impact on the offensive side of the ball for the New York Giants other than Malik Neighbors. And that's why that quarterback move doesn't make a big difference right now. This ain't the Minnesota Vikings where we talk about Justin Jefferson, but they really have a good receiving room with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Kyle Williams, I believe, at tight end, and not Aaron Jones. Who is it? They switch. It's so many of them that switch, but they got a running back, right? But they got a good core. Yeah. Same thing with the Bengals, right? They got a good core around. So, yeah, if it was Russell Wilson going to the Bengals, yeah, he good. If he would have stayed with the Steelers, it would have been good.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was gonna stay with the Steelers.
Well,
I thought he was.
They were courting Aaron Rodgers, and I believe to appeal to Aaron Rodgers' ego and probably lock this deal up, which we may see before the end of this week. Had to get rid of Russell in order to get Aaron Rodgers in the building.
Is that your prediction? That they gonna get Aaron Rodgers, and two, they gonna get him before the week is over. Is that your prediction, Gary? Are you calling this right now?
Now that you see Russell Wilson is gone out the building, they had a backup quarterback, Mason Rudolph, who was there formerly with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you have nobody that's gonna threaten Aaron Rodgers. Now you should see Aaron Rodgers and Ted team get in there and get a deal done, and then we shall see it. Because I don't think Minnesota's interested in him. So Minnesota was the other team. So I don't think Minnesota's interested in him. The New York Giants were the other team. They went with Russell Wilson. So they're not interested. So it just eliminating things, it should be the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't see them coming off of very much money for him. Not sure what the price is, but I'm assuming it would be bigger than Russell Wilson's deal. So yeah, end of the week it should happen because there's nothing else left.
Yeah,
it's nothing else left. Real quick to these comments.
All right.
What's going on, Spencer?
What up, though?
Yo.
What up?
He don't return my phone call.
I'm saying what up, Mo. Everybody, since I got my Maryland shirt on.
What
up, Mo?
He don't say what's up to me at all. We didn't talk about March Madness brackets like we used to. My brother don't love me no more. I don't know what's going on. It is what it is. Poor Juju.
Poor Juju. We'll talk about that in a minute. Y'all balling. I ain't gonna lie. I hate to say it, but yeah, they balling.
That's all.
They say might be hurt, ain't he? He still throw somebody's foot.
It's fine. Yeah, they got enough to withstand. What's up, little sis? How you doing?
What up?
Yes. Also, Stephon Diggs signed a 3-year deal with the New England Patriots. We discussed that before. I do not think that was a good move. It is a tougher division. He is
3 years.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He is coming off an injury, and also I believe he is looking to complete his legacy. And now you go back in the same division that you left, which is not easy to win. We can, with all 1,000% confidence, say that the Buffalo Bills are probably going to win their division for a long time coming. And you with the Patriots have an uphill battle with, we're not sure what Drake May look like.
Yep.
So I'm not okay with that move when it seems like the AFC South is way easier to win. And I could have swore you said CJ Stroud was your brother, so why would you leave your brother?
Well, we can say this: the AFC South is easy to win, but it is some competition in there. The only team we're not worried about, that I don't think nobody is worried about, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. But everybody else, those conference games are tough. Indianapolis played them tough. Who else in their division?
Indianapolis, Tennessee.
And Tennessee. They gonna have Cam Ward. We'll see. They make it to be determined. Allegedly, all that stuff.
So I just want to say this. Like this is me. This is my confession. This is a safe space, I believe.
Sure.
I know that I rag on the Jacksonville Jaguars a lot, but they are competition in the AFC South, even if it is for second place. I just know it's easier to at least be competitive in a division where it's not a clear-cut winner, and you're kind of leading the race. It's easier to be that way versus going to what I believe is a rigid conference where the Bills are number one, bar none, and you just got a new coach in Mike Vrabel. And if he brings in the Patriot way, Stephon Diggs, you made a horrible mistake because they never glorified receivers number that one time with Stephon Diggs. I mean, Randy Moss.
Right.
Get better, King.
I don't know why he made it. Hey, look, at the end of the day, it's either do you want to win or do you want to get the money? Because if you want to get the money, it ain't gonna necessarily equate to winning. But if you stay with the Houston Texans, it ain't no guarantee that you're going to win. Or if you do win, you just going to win enough to play Patrick Mahomes, which y'all still ain't beat him. I can't remember last time y'all beat them in Kansas City. So do you want to keep going over the same thing? Because me personally, it's a lose. It's the win situation is him getting the money. The lose situation is you're going to continue to lose. And continue to lose, you're getting a little bit older. You might be out your prime. And pretty much, if you would have stayed with Buffalo, y'all might have, y'all possibly could have won.
Well, that was my thing. So he left Minnesota Vikings for money, went to Buffalo, happy at first, then left. Went to Houston Texans, got a little bit of scratch.
Got injured.
And got injured,
First
but
year.
you said you were happy, right? And after you said you were happy, now you were New England, same conference you just left out of, well, division that you just left out of, and no matter which way you split it, unless you go to NFC, you're gonna go through that beast of Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs along with Andy Reid and stuff. But at the same time, like to me, the better scenario is this. The one that I stand the chance of winning, like I have an actual shot, is the one I would have stayed with. The money, bro, I feel like you have 2 routes you can go whenever you leave, or 3 really, but you got 2 routes you can go if you decide to leave football today. You go be a coach at your alma mater or go be a coach somewhere else, wide receiver wise, work your way up. It's a path now. If you want to go to HBCU, because that's what everybody else is doing. You know, I'm throwing shade because I hate to move sometimes, but whatever. Eddie George, the only one I guess I give a pass to.
He actually wins.
Well, he stayed 5 years too, so I give him that.
But they all.
But you have that path, or you have the path of going to be a on-air personality or start your own podcast, whatever it may be. So I wouldn't necessarily trip about the money. Like I don't think, this is my assessment, I'm not sure he should be thinking about the money. I think he should be thinking about which one do I stand a better chance of winning it and actually finish in first place, so I don't have to encounter the Kansas City Chiefs first. Because if you are in the AFC East, 9 times out of 10, Buffalo Bills gonna win.
Yeah.
And so then you got a wild card, and you know, and no telling who you gotta go play.
Right.
But at least if you in the AFC South, if you win that division, you at least guaranteed a 4. Let's just say Kansas City win the number 1 spot. Well, at least they got a bye.
Hey, let me tell you.
Let
me tell you about it. Let me tell you this. Location matters. Location. If
I'm not going to Boston over Houston.
I would have stayed right there in Houston. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. But hey, maybe New England offered them something that he couldn't refuse. So
he tried. Good evening, GR Houston Jet. How are you?
What up?
Didn't say how I had one more. Yeah. He had, I forgot what the number was, but I know I'm with you. It's a 2-year deal, and he left. Not sure why he left, because as far as we know, Tank Dell ain't coming back at the beginning of the year.
And dog, he got you injured. So you got more to prove now than anything. Going to a situation out there in New England, I don't see it, dog.
Yeah,
I just can't see it.
And just like G said, I think she's saying exactly what she said. Maybe because of age, how much time he had left, he want to go grab the coins. I get it. Me personally, if that's what it is, cool. But I'm kind of like, you wanted to leave Buffalo. It wasn't about the money. It was about the situation. You get to Houston in a better situation. You get hurt. Didn't really see the full impact of what could have been. Had a year left. Now you go in New England, and it's like, I need to know what's your struggle. Is it the money or is it the situation? Because one could argue in Houston, it felt like a really good situation. Yes, it's uphill battle, young team and things like that. But if it's about the money, then stop crying about the situation all the time when it don't go your way. It seemed like it got sour in Buffalo.
Yep. And
that's why you left. Oh, I agree with you. He got hurt early in the season. Yeah.
Early.
And with Tank Dell being hurt for at least going into like the back half of next year, it's room for you. Nico Collins need a number 2. Nico Collins needs a number 2.
CJ Stroud, you're gonna be in the world, bro. And that offensive line, we just got to talk. That's the statement right now. You win. If you win, you have a good offensive line. Of course, good defense. But the win in the trenches, you have to have an offensive line. And the teams we just previously spoke about, the Giants, besides Pittsburgh season, it is what it is with them. The Giants, Houston, and New England, I can't see their lines, bro. And he thought you was frustrated when you was in Buffalo. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear you. I don't want to see nothing on the sidelines where you get mad at Drake May. I don't want to see nothing on the sidelines where you get mad at the head coach. Man, I don't even care about New England after what they did to the coach that they just fired. So, it is what it is with them.
Well, we stayed on that a little bit too long because but football gave us something at the very end that we were not expecting. What we want to talk about right now is March Madness, bracket busters. What a great time every year,
Mhm.
even though we don't support the NCAA and their exploitation of players. What a great product, though.
Great product. Man.
Great product.
I'm loving it.
March Madness always delivers.
Mhm.
I'll start off by saying this before we talk about some of the things that we saw. I do.
16?
Oh wow! I do not believe that we have a Cinderella story this year.
No, I don't see one.
And this is the first time in a long time, right?
Colorado State was the only one. They
were the last. They were the last one. I know. I was talking with one of my homeboys today, and I said maybe you can say BYU only because they're not typically like this type of school, but still they were a 9 seed. Like I don't define the Cinderella story by the seed number, but it's more along the lines of like
the place.
Yeah, and I also feel like they aren't a basketball school, but it's more so along the lines of the Cinderella stories to me are teams that have not been on national TV, like Loyola Maryland.
You know, the ones that nobody don't know about.
UMBC, Oakland, which is in Detroit. Not the city.
Not the city.
The school.
The school. That's it.
So it's not a Cinderella story, and I don't know how to feel about this. What do you say to me?
My feelings about it is, hey, the transfer portal is opened up to everything. Pretty much, I kind of saw it when NIL stuff started coming around. I immediately saw it where players after 1 year they was going to go either to a bigger school or they're going to go to a smaller school. And the ones that already went to the ones that was already playing at a big school going to a smaller school, they get more playing time and everything. You would think that would have up everything else, but hey, man, NIL it changed everything, and it's a free game right now. And right now, you kind of seeing it like you asked that earlier. Ain't no Cinderella stories, and you know what? It's all good. I'm all right with that, as long as players are going out there showing their talent. And man, look, I've been on the internet a long time, especially while this is going on, and the amount of transfers that's happening right now. When the teams are in the tournament, players are transferring after they lose. Man, ain't no loyalty in here, man. It ain't no kind of loyalty.
Well, before we go with that, like, and I guess I ain't never asked you this. So, with you saying all of that, are you against NIL?
No, go get your paper.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, as much as that might be the forefront of a lot of people's mind, the traditionalists, the people that say they love college over NFL because NFL players seem whiny and all of that. Mm-hmm. Like people that say that put me in awe because I use a comparison of you and your everyday work. You telling me if a job come offer you more money, not you, I'm just talking to just in general. You telling me if somebody comes and it's a dream spot for the time being and they are doubling or tripling your salary, you're not gonna leave. Yeah, I know everybody would. If you say you wouldn't, my mother's watching, so I'm not gonna say it. But if you say you wouldn't leave for your dream job, you crazy because it's your dream job and they paying you double, triple what you making, everybody's leaving. So that's how I equate what it is with players and stuff. But really on the head of this is this. When you look at people talking about players always leaving and things like that, the things they miss is coaches do it all the time. Coaches are looking for the next big thing. Will Wade, no shade towards him. He's actually one of the only coaches that's been honest about what he wants to do, which is he wants to get to a Power 4, Power 5 school, depending on how you define it. Mm-hmm. Well, he's been honest. Other coaches are not. When other coaches get deals, let's see, Texas just fired a coach. And I read an article where they weren't going to fire their current coach until they had another one lined up. Oh, that coach had just left, I think, was it Xavier?
Sean Miller.
Sean Miller, ex-Arizona, right? So Sean Miller, whatever school he was coaching before, those players aren't playing for him no more. So he might take a couple of them, but it's going to be other players that go into the transfer portal. Nothing ever happens to a coach. And everybody always talks about a player, but a coach does this all the time. Yes, some get fired, but a lot of them are like, I ain't get fired. I was going to this next opportunity anyway. Right. So I don't want people to continue to shun players for doing what coaches are doing if you're not going to put it in the same light. Mm-hmm. That's just me. Let's see.
And then there was 16. I finally said it. Sweet 16.
Sweet 16 is here.
Yes, sir.
We were half right and half wrong about SEC teams. Would you agree?
Yeah. SEC was kind of a I don't know what to call it, SEC. Like right now, its teams are still in there from the SEC. I mean, Texas A&M had that game won against Michigan. They just wound up losing the game. And I mean, Ole Miss advanced, Auburn advanced, Florida advanced, Alabama advanced. So, but I mean, it is what Arkansas advanced. Arkansas was a surprise.
So that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Who was the biggest surprise that made it into the Sweet 16 that you weren't expecting?
Arkansas. Arkansas has if everything can go right for Arkansas, if they play like I've seen them play, I don't see a reason why they can't make at least the Elite Eight.
So I got two, and it's only because I didn't see one of these schools play, but the other one wasn't high on them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Purdue. Did not expect Purdue to make it to the Sweet 16. Did not tune into them all year either.
Okay.
But the other team that I only saw maybe once or twice is Ole Miss. I ain't never think Ole Miss was going to make it this far.
Oh, wait, you want to know another one that's kind of like a wild card? Man, it's Michigan State, man.
No, a lot of people had Michigan State going, though.
Tom Izzo, Tom Izzo, man, this season, this year, this is my honest opinion with in regards to Michigan State. I don't see a reason why Michigan State can at least make it to the Elite, not the Elite, but the Final Four. They guard play is good. They big. They have two big bruisers down there in that paint, man. They can go get their shot. They hustle. They go for the offensive rebound. Richardson, he can fly all over the court. That team is good. The only thing that might hurt them is their size with the point guard and their shooting guard position, because it ain't like they 6'5". They 6'4", 6'3" in that range. So size may hurt them, but man, quick is be size all day.
Yeah, but the thing with Michigan State, when I was even tuning in when they were going through the Big Ten tournament, but also just what they were talking about with the pre-brackets and all that. A lot of people had Michigan State going this far. A lot of people got Michigan State going to the Elite Eight, possible Final Four. Right. So I wasn't shocked by them. Ole Miss I was shocked by because I didn't watch very much of them. Not shocked by Duke, Arizona, Alabama was good all year. BYU was the team. We said 9 earlier, they were 6.
6, yeah.
BYU, not shocked by them. They had a tremendous resume coming in. Houston, that's who I'm still picking and rolling with. Purdue, didn't see them, really shocked by them, and I'm interested in that game. Florida, everybody had
they won the SEC tournament.
Well, they had them winning, possibly going to the championship and winning. Maryland, a bit of a shock because of them making it this far in their last minute shot. But hey, they're here. I don't know if anybody just super duper surprised. Arkansas, not shocked, but really, a lot of people that say they aren't shocked, they lying. Why? Because everybody was on Arkansas' head early this year, including us, I believe, in terms of how many games he had lost. So people that be like, "Oh, I saw this coming," you're lying.
On the head of my 10-10-10, and when they beat Kansas,
that's when the season turned around.
And they showed their size. The kid that their center, he transferred from Tennessee to Arkansas. DJ Wagner, I'm impressed. The guy from Cary, Indiana, that played for Florida Atlantic, he been balling too. But look, man, another one, Michigan as well. They got big bruises down there, man. I'm just looking forward to it. And of course, the Kentucky, Tennessee, 2 SEC teams playing against each other. That's good. I can't wait for that game. I'm be tuned in watching that game somewhere.
All right, so really quick, biggest disappointment, so we can get to the segment. Who's busy?
Let's see. The biggest disappointment. They can go up real quick. I'm gonna see who. A&M, man. I thought A&M had it, man. I thought Texas A&M. But another one's Iowa State too. Iowa State had a good enough team. They could have made some noise. Yeah,
I would say I'm a bit shocked because I had Vanderbilt going a little bit further, and they lost to St. Mary's. They only lost by 3. I really thought Vanderbilt, because yes, they were kind of coming on it's a football school here over the past few years, but basketball was kind of like what they
Changing.
known for, and that's what they were changing. So I was rooting for them, but then I thought they would do better. And the other team I'm disappointed in Baylor. What a stinker. And I say that because I didn't think they were gonna win against Duke because Duke is just like that right now. But I thought it would have been a closer game, and that's what really disappointed me.
I'm disappointed in North Carolina as well. Go
Nah.
No. Oh, no. St. John's.
I'm not disappointed in them.
Oh man, St. John's. Y'all won a Big East regular season. Y'all won a Big East tournament, and all y'all can get to is the round of 64. Get out of round 64. You barely. I ain't gonna say you barely got out of that, but.
So but before we go there, I just want to ask you this because I heard people saying they disappointed in St. John's. What was the expectation for them last year before Rick got there?
I don't know.
But right, that's what I mean, right? It wasn't really no expectation if it was one. But when Rick got here, they got to the tournament this year. Yeah, it could have been better, but you lost to Calipari, who now everybody's saying is a genius, and he got it going and all that stuff. When I look at them, if they would have been matched up somewhere else, who knows, right?
Man, look, if you want to be Arkansas, man, go on the 2-3 zone. Go ahead.
No, but I'm just saying, we can say that, of course, outside looking in the heat of the moment, who knows what he was thinking. His star player didn't, the best player didn't play up to snuff in a sense.
I disagree. They best players out there, he ain't get it done. Kadari Richmond.
I said he didn't play up to snuff.
He didn't no, I thought you were talking about the one that got benched.
They said he was 3 for 17.
Yeah, that's the one that got benched, not Kadari. Kadari played up to his.
Not you. I'm saying everybody else say the best player is the one that got benched, not Kadari. I'm telling you, that's what the media is saying, not me. They say he benched his best player.
Who they been watching?
That's what they
crazy.
say.
Okay, go ahead.
Not me. That's what they say. But the thing with St. John's is how could a disappointment be when how strong do we think the Big East is outside of UConn before we knew what everybody had, right? Because the Big East had 4 teams in this year?
I want to say so, yeah.
4 teams in there. We made it to the round of 32. First time under Rick Pitino. Bro, yeah. He definitely gonna sit up there and get it popping next year. Like, I'm not disappointed. I'd have been disappointed if he lost somebody else other than like a Tom Izzo or a John Calipari. If you lost somebody who's a lesser coach than you with your achievements, then I'd be disappointed. You lost to one of the greatest ones, and homeboy got your number. Like, how could people be disappointed like that? Like, people really had St. John's going to the final.
Well, it ain't matter. It's not about what people had them going to. I had them going at least further than what they went.
So what, the Sweet 16?
Maybe the Elite 8. Who they play? Who do Arkansas play right now?
I just okay,
don't worry about it. But I mean, based off everything that I've seen this season, they had a good enough team. Just from what I've seen watching them, they had to make it. The only thing they can't do is shoot. That's it. Everything else
matters.
Yeah, it does matter, but they didn't get it done. But I had watching them for the season, I had them making it further than what they made.
So this is what I'll say, because I was high on them too, because you put me on, and of course I fan of what Rick Pitino can do. When people speak of being disappointed, then I think it needs to be clarified. You disappointed because you thought they were gonna make it far, but in terms of what they did, man, St. John's ain't had expectations. God knows when.
I don't care about the expectations.
But I'm saying that's what you're basing the disappointment off of. So they didn't make it to the Sweet 16, but it's not like they got blew out like Baylor.
They still lost.
They lost, but okay, so then you would be disappointed if Arkansas didn't make it further.
Yeah, I would have been. I mean, yeah, I would. I ain't gonna say would I've been disappointed. No, because they was a 10 seed. They was a 10 seed. So one, they I ain't gonna say they barely got in, but they was a 10 seed. A 2 seed is expected to go further than a 10 seed.
No, a 2 seed. Everybody is in the tournament, and you could lose any point in time. So the whole thing of disappointment is, I believe you are entitled to be disappointed, but it's because of your expectations. Arkansas came in there, they handled business. Yes, it was against a 2 seed, but everybody in the tournament, if you match up at a certain spot, your records is kind of similar, or your team may be kind of similar. Why Arkansas won? You say a 2-3 zone would have helped St. John's a bit more, right? Well, they also won because they played better defense and they made more shots. They didn't get blown out like Baylor and Duke got. That was a blowout. We started watching that game before halftime.
We did.
And it was 5, and then they was down by 15, and they never got back in the game.
I'm trying to see what the blowout got to do with anything because they both lost.
You're saying they both lost, but you saying you expected them to go further.
Yeah, based off them winning the Big East.
Okay.
And with them winning the Big East regular season and the tournament.
Okay, you say Big East is there. Okay, who's the better conference? Just me personally.
This was SEC. This season was SEC.
And this is the SEC team they would have against one that's led by a coach with similar accolades.
But that SEC team wasn't that good.
How they weren't that good?
They was a 10 seed. They didn't even make it to I don't even think they made it to the quarterfinals.
But they made the tournament. They played. They made it to the quarterfinals. They were getting better. They made it into March Madness. And when you say 10th seed and all that, does it really? The seed and all that doesn't matter. But one team's success in the regular season, I'm looking at that team's success in the regular season versus the team that they played. And versus the team that they played, I expected them to win against Arkansas. But you said it too. Regular season, right? Regular season, not discounted at all. That's how they got their seed. But you know, just like I know, the Cinderella story thing is an unknown popping another. And it's not like Arkansas was sorry like we thought they were at the beginning of the year. They wound up getting better. They found their foot and they found their groove. They beat a team, but it's not like it was a blowout. The reason why I say blowout is because people saying disappointment, like everybody all disappointed. Like Rick Pitino was coaching for his job. He gonna come back better next year. But John Calipari has had his number every time they played each other. I believe now it's 13-5, something like that. Calipari to beat him 13 times now. Mm-hmm. So it ain't like, it just better by team. Calipari didn't coach better than me, but disappointed. I'm not disappointed when, honestly, the expectation was probably just for them to make the tournament, and they won the Big East. So I can't see what the disappointment is, me personally.
Okay. All right. Well, we're about to get to another segment. One of our segments called Flag on the Play, and pretty much when Flag on the Play is when we see anybody, any coaches, any players, male or female, do anything egregious. It's our job as sports enthusiasts to call these people out. And with no further ado, my flag on the play goes to, you got it, you guessed it. This goes to flag on the play, NC State for hiring Will Wade. And if you don't know, we had the discussion last week. When I was back at home, we had the discussion. I said, I guarantee you, I was talking to you, I was talking to my mom. I was telling both of y'all, I said, when this season over with, he going somewhere. He going somewhere. Somebody gonna offer him some money and he gonna go. And Will, if you don't know who Will Wade is, he was the coach of LSU. He got I ain't gonna say he got banned, but they let him go. Banned. Yeah, he got I ain't gonna say banned, but he got let go by LSU men's basketball team because he did some stuff paying players when he wasn't supposed to. So they let him go when NCAA found out. And then he went from LSU to McNeese. When he was at McNeese, he got players from all over the country that played in the Big East, ACC, all of that, and he got them to come to McNeese State. And for that, they went to the tournament 2 times, 2 years in a row. And now he is the coach of North Carolina State, or I'm sorry, NC State. And the reason that NC State is getting flag on the play is because they fired their coach named Kevin Keys. They fired him after they went to the Final Four. Now, I don't know about nobody else, but I can tell you right now, Will Wade hasn't coached a Final Four team. He just ain't coached a Final Four team. And I don't see him coaching the Final Four team in NC State. For y'all to let Kevin Keys go after a tremendous job that he did last year, and unfortunately, they didn't make the tournament this go around, but it's okay. A lot of the players is gone. But to say that you went to the Final Four last year in 2024, and then you let the man go that coached out to the Final Four, and if it weren't for Zach Edey, possibly could have won the Final Four. That's a huge flag on the play. Them and Texas for y'all hiring Sean Miller after y'all coach went to the tournament again. Barely got in, but at least they went. At least he went to the tournament. Flag on the play for Texas and NC State. I hope nothing good happens to y'all. Just like I hope nothing good happens to New England Patriots for what they did.
Sound like expectations is in the play
For what?
for both of these coaches.
For what? Expectation for what?
For not making it to the tournament or making it first.
Oh,
The thing that you disappointed in with St. John's is the reason why they gone, probably. Expectations.
for a year?
Yeah.
After making it to the Final Four? Nah, man.
Hey, that's what you disappointed in. That's what they disappointed in too. Just being honest with you.
Wrong again.
No, that's exactly what it is.
Wrong.
You give me another reason why. Expectations, baby. That's all I'm telling you. My flag on the play, ladies and gentlemen, this week goes to UConn's head coach, Dan Hurley, and SID and staff. Flag on the play goes to them because Dan Hurley could be seen with the reporter. If you want to give him a flag on the play, you could. But I'm not going to do it because otherwise I wouldn't have this content. The reporter, can't play that because YouTube's going to flag it. The reporter was in the tunnel when they had lost. Mm-hmm. And Dan Hurley could be heard saying, wow, I hope they don't you like they did us. I hope they don't you like they did us, Baylor. Caught on tape, went viral the whole 9 yards. Why is this a flag on the play? Well, the flag on the play is because Dan was heard making certain simple threats. And so was the SID coordinator heard making simple threats. And a couple other people making threats saying they're in the reporter's life over a bad quote and video that went viral that were in his life. Not y'all mobbed up like that up there. You gonna end a reporter's life? You gonna end his career? That is crazy. They all had to get flagged on the play because I get it. Dan Hurley might be in a bad light, but I don't think nobody will care once he start winning next year. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but he kind of secure up there in UConn, in the country of the Huskies, if you will. Nobody will care. I don't think none of the fans care. I feel like anybody know that he was expressing human emotion, very frustrated or whatever. But to say you're going to end this man's life is bananas. UConn head coach, SID, and any other staff members threatening this sad reporter that made a poor choice to make a video go viral. You get flagged on the play. Not his life. Not his life.
Not over a game. After something you had said.
Not his life.
After something you had said.
What up? What up, Chase? What up, Jalen? Just got out the game. Hey, how'd you do in the game, though? Let me know how you did in the game. And I think he could have been a Lakers. Dan Hurley could have been a Lakers coach stood up here doing obscene stuff. And you know what would have happened? Jeannie Buss would have buried it along with Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson carrying here smiling. And we'd have all forgot about it.
Magic Johnson, he can cure it.
Shout out to you, Jalen Chase. He the one told me about this story.
Hold on, what game? What game? He just got out of his game. Referee?
No, playing up there on campus.
Oh man, hey. You ain't got no badge. Okay, cool. All right, never mind. Never mind. All right. So we have the next segment called "When Life Comes at You Fast," and pretty much when life comes at you fast is when you get on that helicopter, when you get on that plane, and you have your parachute on, and you on cloud 9, cloud 10, cloud 13, cloud 15, and then you jump off the plane or the helicopter with your parachute, and your parachute don't work. This is what happens.
I wasn't ready.
I was okay.
I was gonna be okay.
Anyway, when life comes at you fast, goes to Kansas Jayhawks to losing to Arkansas Razorbacks in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. I know they had their expectations, but it just ain't happening. And for that, thank you, Bill Self, for losing again. I really do appreciate it. Keep on losing. I hope you continue to be unsuccessful with the Kansas Jayhawks. It is what it is on that.
Oh, it's hailing outside.
And it is actually hailing outside. I would look out the window, but I'm being professional right now. But again, when life comes at you fast, goes to the Kansas City Jayhawks for losing the opening round to Arkansas Razorbacks. Shout out to John Calipari.
I'm mad as hell right now. I'm sorry.
I'm mad as hell too.
They distracted me like it wasn't. I apologize for my lack of professionalism. Ladies and gentlemen, my money shot is something that I want you to remember, something that you cannot forget, shall not forget, will not forget. And when you hear it, if you hear it, shall you hear it, come back and listen to this whole episode. I was gonna say especially this, but the whole episode will do. He's not playing with me no more. This is my money shot. It's only one thing and one thing only that we got to shout out this week, and that is the Boston Celtics selling for $6.1 billion.
Yeah.
Wow. That
money on the floor.
Hold on. Money on the hold on. $6.1 billion. I didn't even know they was up for sale.
Man, I saw that last week. Good call.
$6.1 billion is the Celtics selling price. Somebody's gonna be very happy, and somebody's hoping to get back into black real soon. And maybe, just maybe, they'll be the owner of the 2-time defending champs at the end of this year. Who knows? But yes, Boston Celtics, $6.1 billion with a B dollars have been sold. Wow. Zers. Crazy. All right. One more time before we get to it. We love talking about music, listening to music, thinking about it. We love sharing it with you. We here at GNC Sports want to know what you are listening to right now, whether it's rock, pop, rap, hip hop, dance, reggae, folk. I don't know what they call it overseas, so I'm going to think about it. I'm going to get better at electronic, EDM, rave music. I don't know. I think that's EDM. Whatever. We want to know if you can, in the comments, put an M next to the song, artist, album. If you can, do that right now. We're getting ready to get to all the great picks that y'all always give us, because this is our favorite time, I think, of the whole show. Yep. When we get to doing this. Again, somebody sponsors us to give us a music license.
We need it.
Yes. You asked too many questions. I don't want to be like that. They talked about that.
Hell in the Dallas area. Crazy, right?
I think it was East Dallas earlier, so I guess it made this way here. That's gonna be the first one we kick it off.
Yeah, we gotta kick that off. I gotta check it out.
Got that? What you got?
The new Saba and No ID collab. Whole thing is a pending classic.
Oh, okay.
Check it out, man. I'm be on Call of Duty or 2K. Get it in.
Appreciate that, Jalen. All right. Ego by Kennedy Ryan.
Okay.
I think I said
Ryan. By the way,
Ryan.
Dom Kennedy is a concert tonight.
That's why it's hell out here. Thank you, cousin.
The disrespect.
No, whatever. Paint the Town Blue by
Nico.
I'm sorry, that looked a little blurry to me. I wasn't even looking because I couldn't pronounce. I really couldn't see it.
I had to enunciate that, man.
No, I couldn't see it. I don't know. My vision was blurry right there. And then Hot Music by Soho. I saw that one. Thank you so much, G, for that.
Yeah, we
definitely appreciate that. Oh, hold on.
We got some more. Penthouse Floor by John Legend. All right, Chelsea. John Legend in the building. Give It Up or Turn It Loose by James Brown.
Shout out to our granddaddy.
Give it up. Turn it loose.
Shout out to our granddaddy. That's how we know about James Brown. I mean, other than him being the most sampled person nowadays,
of all time.
Of all time. Definitely know about him.
Mm-hmm.
We thank y'all for y'all amazing picks as always.
Yeah, man.
And sir, we'll get to you soon. Like, this is a popular one that you seem to go to. Is this right?
Yeah.
Did I get this right? Okay.
Yeah, we got Pac-Man, the Gunman, Wee Dog, Cuzzy Capone, Jay Stone, and some more other people. I ain't put them on there. But the name of this record, Different Cloth. And we also got Glorilla, Stop Playing. So, again, y'all go check that out. Pac-Man, the Gunman, Wee Dog, Cuzzy Capone, Jay Stone, Different Cloth. And we have Glorilla, Stop Playing. You know what I mean?
No, nobody knows what you
Stop
mean.
playing.
Word. All right, my 2 picks. We have Devin Morrison, Amber Navarran. I believe I said it right. New Beginnings and Blast featuring Bino. How you say last name?
Rito. I know.
Really. Might do well. Once again, it is Devin Morrison, Amber Navarran. I believe I said that. Navrin. I don't know. New Beginning. And then Blast featuring Bino Reno might do well.
Yes, sir.
Should work on my enunciation one
Hey, man, some names is hard to pronounce.
Every day, what to pronounce with me. Every day. Last one here. Be Here by Bonnie James and Kenny Lattimore. Bonnie, I'm sorry, probably Bonnie. See, I can't pronounce nothing. Terrible at this, man. I'm really good at it, though. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we have come to the end. I think we're going to get y'all out here before hours up. Oh, really quick. Tune in to March Madness this weekend. We didn't talk about women's that much because the women's game kind of goes as expected. No upsets. Very sad to see Juju Watkins out, torn ACL, not going to be here. I'm not sure what their chances are. Who knows? Maybe that bodes better for Connecticut. South Carolina's going to be on the tear. We'll see what UCLA looks like. But as it stands right now, USC chances may or may not be done. But Juju Watkins is a big, big deal for them. And this may spell the end of their tournament run.
Yeah. It's tough, man. Tough loss, man. Because I wanted to see her put on a performance.
She was killing it.
Yep.
She was killing it.
Yeah, she was putting on a performance, man. Hey, I hate to see good players, likable players like her. You know, when she go down with an injury, it's definitely going to affect the whole team. But, hey, who knows how it's going to go in the end, man. Let's see if they're going to pull off an upset.
Yeah, and last thing I'll say is this: with March Madness, I know people are concerned about, I don't know anything about sports. Yeah, I know nothing about sports. Literally, this is March Madness right here. Go pick a team. You can do it off of state, college, city, color.
Be brave.
You can do whatever you want to do and just have fun and enjoy. It's literally something where you can see all the nation's top talent with international players included, because we do have some of those in there. Men and women, the women game is exploding. You can pick which one you want to watch. You can watch both, but it's definitely something to tune into, something exciting, something that gets your juices flowing, kind of gets you ready for the NBA playoffs and now the WNBA season also.
Yes, sir.
So we got a lot to tie us over. If you're a baseball fan, that has now started too. I think I'm going to adopt the Dodgers. That's what I talked to Chase about. I already root for LA Lakers. Why not?
Right,
you know,
right.
And they're winners. We root for winners over here. Minus the Saints.
And the Tar Heels.
But they won recently. They're kind of.
They
beat Coach K, man. They owed at least 5 years for this. They took him out every step of the way.
Yeah, Hubert.
Not Hubie Huber.
Hey, man, look, get together, man. Go in that transfer portal. Go get somebody.
Hey.
Go get them older players. Kadoe, he transferring out. So, anyway, go ahead.
We mostly cheer for winners here. Anyway, it's a lot to get into, a lot going on. Right now, am working behind the scenes. April is next week, so I say April. April, Q2, which was my plan all along. Bunch of content coming out. Just get ready. We getting busy. We be tired over here. We doing this for a bigger purpose. Thank y'all for tuning in as always. What's your name, good sir?
Cary.
I am Gary. This is GNC Sports Talk, where we do it
for the culture.
By the culture.
Because we are the culture, you did.
Hold on 1 second. She'll bounce back. Big fan of hers. This is Juju Watkins.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Dodgers Nation, baby. Hey, we gonna see. We gonna see. #1 sports podcast. Why?
Because our mama said so.
Because our mama said so. Thank y'all for tuning in. Love y'all. We will see y'all really, really soon. March Madness is bonus. And we out.
We out.